Jon Anik responds and says, I thought Leon versus Bilal was a highly entertaining fight. Didn't feel the same about this one.
Jon Anik, I know a long time, so I'm friend with him a long time, so I can, it's business. I wish you both guys best.
It's only business. It's only business.
He would not train me to dismantle Jon Anik because they're friends. I'm going to expose Jon Anik for being very biased, a hypocrite, and the lowest common denominator as an announcer. UFC 306 went down last Saturday night, and it was a very, very interesting event with spectacular graphics and visuals. The place was roaring. The fight card wound up being very entertaining despite subpar co-main event. But in the main event, we had Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Merab winds up being champion, and Sean gets dominated by Merab Dvalishvili. A lot of people on social media are yelling and screaming, and when we did our stream on Saturday night, 250,000 views, we had a poll up in the live chat. Thousands of votes, and 64% of those votes on our live stream Saturday night were in favor of Sugar Sean O'Malley, saying he was going to stay and still. This is very important to take into consideration when we talk about fans saying if a fight is good or if a fight is bad. I myself have been guilty in certain situations where I've been biased. I'm human and I'm a fan. I'm not paid by the UFC to sit cage side and do commentary and be unbiased. In the case of Jon Anik, there is clear bias in how he feels about certain fights. It's very clear how he feels about certain fans, as calling them the lowest common denominator. He has since apologized about those statements, but in this screenshot, here's a case of Jon Anik being a little biased. A person on X named Wayne Holcomb says, I really wish Jon Anik would stop playing into the wrestling equals boring narrative. It's MMA. The Merab fight was technically great and an amazing display of wrestling. Anik and Florian podcast do better. Jon Anik responds and says, I thought Leon versus Bilal was a highly entertaining fight. Didn't feel the same about this one. But if you think historically, if I leaned into the narrative, you just haven't been listening. My track record shows I've repeatedly been on the opposite side of this conversation. Jon Anik, your brother does a show at Bilal Muhammad. In fact, you do a show at Bilal Muhammad, and you were very excited when Bilal got his hand raised against Leon Edwards. I also was very excited that Bilal got his hand raised. Why? Because, well, he follows us on X. That's kind of cool. My prediction was correct, so in front of hundreds of thousands of people, I was able to gloat. And yeah, I was entertained because of those reasons. Would I watch that fight back? No. But the night of, I enjoyed it very much. When it came to UFC 306, I actually watched that main event again, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't understand how fans are saying that that fight was boring. The only thing I could think of is your fighter lost. Your team sugar show. I hate wrestling. I like to root for cucks. Your parlay was destroyed. Those pesky crotch sniffers. Clowns are cool. I hate fuzzy hats. Merab is disgusting to look at. It's a weird situation because the Valentina Shevchenko fight against Alexa Grasso on Saturday night was very boring to me. And I picked Valentina Shevchenko. I picked by decision. So you would think I would be gloating in front of everyone saying, I told you, look, this is happening. I'm mystical. But I didn't. I was bored out of my mind. And in a rewatch, when I was watching Noche by myself, I fast-forwarded through the Valentina Shevchenko-Alexa Grasso fight. I could not sit through that at all. People are trying to compare that to the main event. It's not even close. Maybe the commentary team was exhausted. Everything around them was spectacular. They were on cloud nine for the entire event, saying how amazing everything looked. They got let down by the co-main event, and then in the main event, well, it was lopsided. These people are human, right? Well, you have a job to do, and your job is to be as unbiased as possible. To go on social media and say this, how Bilal Muhammad's fight was enjoyable, but the Sean O'Malley fight was not, is crazy to me. Why do you think Jon Anik could watch it again? Because that's his buddy. That's his boy. If my boy was fighting, I'd probably feel the same way. But to tell fans he didn't find it as entertaining as Bilal versus Leon is quite frankly laughable. Here are some of the reasons why I can watch this fight over and over again. It's not a hatred to Sean O'Malley. It's a realistic idea of Sean O'Malley is not that good. He's exciting. I've said multiple times on live streams and uploads that Sean O'Malley is the type of guy that's more entertaining for fans. And for me as well, I even said I'm picking Merab, but still Sean O'Malley winning makes things so much more interesting. I have quickly changed my mind. Even though I found Merab Dvalishvili fights in the past a little bit underwhelming, this one here is not one of those. Couple of things transpired during this main event at UFC Noche. First off, I got to say this. The graphics were phenomenal. The effects, the tail of the tape, it literally blew my mind. Now, would I pay another $80 to watch it? No. But I would love to be at an event. I'm sure if you're in the seats, your mind must have been blown. It looked great. But a lot of people spent most of their time on their cell phones instead of watching with their eyeballs. What are we doing? During the fight, to taunt Sean O'Malley, Merab started dribbling. Sean O'Malley loves to dribble in his fights as he's showboating. Merab gave him a taste of his own medicine. Also during the fight, Merab Dvalishvili was showcasing his movement and avoiding Sean striking, and he was looking off to the side. Now, a lot of times when I see this, I'm like, okay, this is an annoying fight, but they did fight. Merab dominated and showboated. Instead of a fight where you're just running around showcasing your head movement, Merab was taking him down and messing him up. And he was laughing the whole time while he was doing it. How humiliating do you think that has to be to Sean O'Malley when they built a whole event for him? This Noche was for Sean, and he just dropped the ball. Merab Dvalishvili completely dominated. Put aside those scorecards because they were crazy. But regardless, Merab dominated Sean throughout the 5 rounds. There was a moment in this fight where Merab decided, I'm going to smooch Sean O'Malley. And I'm not making this up. He was kissing Sean O'Malley as he was choking him. I need you to listen to Herb Dean as Sean was getting kissed in the back of his neck.
Hey, stop that. He's laughing at him.
Hey, stop that. I've never in my life seen a fighter get kissed and get reprimanded by the ref. And then after he kissed O'Malley in the back of the neck, Merab decides to get up, walk away with 4 seconds still left in the round.
He's laughing at him. Hey.
Back turn to O'Malley, and O'Malley gets up and starts swinging. Herb Dean's yelling, hey. Now, listen, I think for the most part, the reffing was very good for Noche. This was a little bit of a weird situation because Herb did say stop that. Merab did stop that, but the round was still going. Sean was aware and says, hey, there's still time on the round. I'm going to start swinging. Herb is trying to split it up, which makes no sense because the fight's still going. A complete bizarre scenario.
Hey.
The horn sounds. This was our main event. Listen, I typically don't like lopsided dominant fights, but this was hilarious to watch unfold as Merab was just taking it as a joke, beating up Sean O'Malley, doing whatever the hell he wanted to do with Sean O'Malley. The frustration of a man who many fans say walks on water, the next Conor McGregor, and you have this guy that didn't even make championship weight. He came in at 134 pounds, undersized, just flinging Sean around like he was nothing. That is entertaining. That is a fight that a lot of people think is going to go one way, then it goes severely in the other direction. I don't understand. Listen, even if I don't want a fighter to win, I could still find entertainment in stuff like this. As soon as the fight started, Merab Dvalishvili started with some controversy and Herb Dean had to get involved. And here's Merab's explanation for it.
Yeah, I was in and I'm fighting. I'm a professional fighter, I'm focused, and it never happened to me. I never pay attention to other corner. But of course, team's voice, it was very familiar because he was doing same thing to Aljo. There is the clip video on social media. Everybody we saw that, and he was doing same thing. Like he was doing very disrespectful way. Merab, you gotta go. He was talking shit on me, and I tell him stop it, and nobody was telling him to stop. He was just keep doing this, And if you do same thing in basketball or soccer, they will do disqualification for you, but I guess here not, and that's why I was. But I tell referee I'm sorry, you know, like once referee tell me that's my job, and I said I'm sorry, and after I guess he stopped it because I still heard like some, but I don't care.
And what happened at the end of the second round? It looked like you were kissing him on his neck, and then you stood up and he ran at you with like 3 seconds left.
Yeah, so I grabbed his neck, and then he has a 10-second left, and I know he can wait, and he's not gonna go sleep or tap this, and I want to make just a little fun of him, you know, and make him just, you know, I don't hate the guy, just make fun of him, but at the same time give a little kiss. To show them dominate. I control this fight. I break you, you know. That's why I was kissing, and but I had too much fun there, and I guess I lose the time control. But when I let go, and I guess I don't know, like he followed me and he punched me back on my head, and I started protect myself again, and that was like, and I said referee again, I'm sorry referee, I'm sorry.
This guy's nuts. He's absolutely out of his mind. Do I want to see him fight again? Yes. Was I thrilled with him being a champion? No, not before the fight. But now, yeah, I want to see more of this. I ask you guys, name a crotch sniffer on the roster that makes it as entertaining as Merab Dvalishvili. Yes, it's cringy, but I tell you what, man, when that cage door closes and this guy gets going, even if the fight is boring, you just don't know what he's going to do in there. I love it. Now listen, let's get back to that weasel Jon Anik. Yeah, the Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards fight did have the moment where Belal spiked Leon on his bald spot, and that was pretty entertaining. But this fight was light years more entertaining than Belal-Leon Part 2. Here is a video from March of 2021. I interviewed Merab Dvalishvili right before he fought Cody Stamann, and I asked him a question. And in this clip, you will see the piece of shit that Jon Anik is. He's friends with Belal Muhammad, but turns his back on his friend, Merab the Machine Dvalishvili.
Jon Anik. Jon Anik is going to fight an amateur fight here. I have no experience at all in fighting. Would you help me train for Jon Anik?
Oh man, I mean, I love Jon Anik, but I cannot train you against him, man. I can't. You know.
I love Jon Anik, but I can't train you, me, Mystic Moss, King of the Dragons, against him.
You know,
No, you can't show me a couple of things, you know, little tricks? No tricks.
Oh, I can't. This is
Why do you think he can't train me, the Mystical Moss, to fight against Jon Anik?
I'll be easy on him. I promise. I'll be easy on him.
We just became friends, but Jon Anik I know a long time, so I'm friends with him a long time.
We just became friends. Me, Mystical, and Merab Dvalishvili, the bantamweight UFC champion of the world. But he says he knows Jon Anik for a long time.
Easy on him. I promise. I'll be easy on him.
We just became friends, but Jon Anik I know a long time, so I'm friends with him a long time. So I can. It's business. I wish you both guys best.
It's only business. It's only business.
He would not train me to dismantle Jon Anik because they're friends. Hey, Merab, look at your friend. Did you change your mind?
Quote,
down buck.
I know my neighbors have done this to me.
Sprawl.
And if they think it was bad
Keep the sprawl and
before,
back
just
up.
wait till they see me now.